Hey, did you notice that now in SharePoint you have a Copilot icon here? Did you notice that? That's pretty cool. So I've files. There's some information here. I'm not sure what it is, but I don't want to open. So I go in the Copilot icon here, and I can ask questions. So I can say summarize the selected file, and sure, it does it. Oh, let's modify. Would you like to detail summary? Yes, I want. That's what I want. Not sure why it didn't do the detail summary. Okay, so now it's really opening it. I'm not sure why it didn't do the first time, but it works. So I made some tests. I downloaded press releases. So I said maybe I can do the same thing here. So let's clear this. How can I clear the context here? So I'm gonna maybe close it, and so I'm gonna select all of this. And I was curious, can you do it on a bunch of files? Because here it's just selected file. So let's try it. Summarize the selected files. If I can type. So to me, there's only can reference just 5. So I'm not sure and it's gonna work. So apparently it does only 2. So it's not really working the way I'm expecting. That's that's not very good. That's not what I'm looking for. But it's still nice to have this Copilot icon here and select one file and ask a question. And obviously there's pre-canned questions here, but you can, um, put your own query just like you'll do it anywhere else. So that's a progress. There's still some improvement, but needed, but there's a progress definitely. But if I still want to compare all those files, what can I do? So what I did is I created a Copilot agent, and so I don't see it here. And depending on where I created it, it it created a .copilot file. So here it's stored it in this folder because that's where I was when I created it. And if I click on it, I have my pre-canned prompt here, and I told this Copilot agent for SharePoint to just focus on the 10 files. So just a feedback, I try to point at the folder where all my the press releases were, and it was not good. The results were not good. So when I point at only the files, then that's the one I'm showing here, and it's definitely better. So what product category has the best growth? So you can define your own prompt. There's only 3. I don't know why here it's 3 and in Copilot Agent it's 6, but here it's only 3. And I can ask my questions here. And I probably can ask other questions, and it's going to look at all the files, hopefully. I hope so. I really hope so. It's still working apparently. Or is it? No, there's only 2 reference. So I'm surprised here. So let's go create a table with the net profit and growth over the last 10 years just to see if it surfaces 10 files. So I'm not sure if it's consistent because last time I did it, it did the 10 years. So here you can see it's the 10 years. There's no reference here. So I'm not sure if it has surfaced all the files. I'm not sure why here it just referenced two files, but the answer is good, but it's limited because it seems that it should have looked at more. So it's still not certain how it works. I feel that it surfaced all the 10 files because when I asked to create a table with the results that are stored in each individual files, it comes back with a table, so it surfaces all the 10 files, which is good. But when I ask more open questions, it seems that it stopped at 2. But I'm not sure if it's because of my prompt is not well written or for other reason, because maybe it's still in preview, as you can see. So uh, that's a way you can open the Copilot agent, and you can eventually share it with other people to save them time to find Copilot agent. But basically, you have a when you create a Copilot agent here, create a Copilot agent that you go through a wizard, and maybe I'll show you that at the end, and it will store a file here. But apparently, when I click here, so I still have my Copilot, normal Copilot, and I can find it here too. You see, there's this press release agent. It's just one I created with my own prompt, so I can find them here, or I can find it here. So either you go there. Let's go. You go there, click on the Copilot icon. Then there's a master Copilot agent for I guess, the folder where I am. And then I created around this folder and the files, I created several agents. So I created an agent for the press release, and I created another agent for the use case per persona. So I can see use case per persona. What are the Copilot use case for, and I can say for a sales person. So it's not that user friendly to figure out where the Copilot agent is, because sometimes it's a file, sometimes you can navigate there, but still, it's not, rocket scientist. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to find it out. So here it looked at several files actually that I downloaded from Microsoft site. All my files actually here are downloaded from the Microsoft site. And here it's based on here, the use case persona. You can see those files. It's use case examples per department or persona. And there's this Copilot agent again. So it's the same thing, the same than this one that I can open full screen. The benefit here is I can share this Copilot agent here by sharing with other people, so people can find my Copilot agent pretty quickly. They're pretty useful. I think the one thing you're gonna use most of the time is this. I'm selecting this. You go to the root and you ask summarize the selected file, and that's probably gonna be what you're gonna use the most. And select one file and prompt, or use a pre-canned prompt and prompt whatever you want without having to open the file, and you can query this file. So now, how can I create this? How did I create this? So here I went to the folder where I wanted to do my Copilot agent for SharePoint, and I say create Copilot agent. And you go through a wizard, and you can say, do you want to create a personal agent for um, this? And so I can edit, and then you go to source, and then you can, so here you saw that this agent that I created here was based on the folder, so it worked here. But I could add other resources. If I know that there's other resources that are somewhere else, I can add them, and you can add, I don't know if there's a limit. What I see here is there's a limit of 20 sources. So that's the limitation. Then the behavior, that's where you can customize your prompt here. So you see here, there's a summarize selected file, create a FAQ, and I can change that. That's what I did for my Copilot agent, and that's it. And then when you save it, so I'm going to cancel it. When you save it, you have a file that is stored where you initiated, from what I understand, where you initiated to create a Copilot agent, and then you can see. So for this site, you're gonna see all the Copilot agent. So I'm guessing that if I go here, let's go to the root of my site. If I go there, I see the generic, let's say generic Copilot SharePoint agent, and I see all the Copilot agent I created without really knowing where they apply, uh, but I can see them and I can even create a new Copilot agent from here. Hope this was insightful. It's the first tour of Copilot agent in SharePoint. And don't forget, you don't even have to create a Copilot agent because you can use Copilot here on whatever file you want to navigate. Um, so yeah, if you have a specific file you want to navigate, I don't want to show personal information, but you can just select the file that is of your interest and just ask Copilot to summarize this file. So you just select one file and say summarize the files and go there. So selected, whatever you selected works. When you select several files, it seems that it doesn't work perfectly yet. It seems it takes only two, but probably that's what people want to know. Simple file, I want to know pretty quickly. This blog post, okay, I don't want to read it, so I just want to do that. So let's try this because I didn't try it. I hope it's gonna look at the one I select. Yeah, so even if it's in the same session of Copilot, it find out the actual selected files. So it's pretty cool, pretty useful. The Copilot here in SharePoint is highly beneficial, and you can create your own Copilot agent that focus on the set of file. My recommendation, so maximum of 25 reference. My recommendation is instead of putting a folder, put the files. It's more accurate. Hope this was insightful.